Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Forbidden Land podcast. Trying something a little new today. That is using a different microphone. This feels very weird to me. Because, as you know, I'm used to the Blue Yeti microphone. Like I said, this is very strange to me. Forgot to turn off the light compensation. Anyway, feels very strange to me, so I'm going to try it for just this episode, hear how it sounds in the edit, hope it sounds fine, and we'll see where I go from there. But another USB mic. I'm so sorry to my audio engineering mentor that hated USB mics, but it is not an XLR. I don't have that kind of dough. But it has a shock mount at least. Like, if I hit the desk, you can still hear it, but it's not like the boom, like you don't hear the residual boom like you would with the Blue Yeti, which is still here, by the way. You can literally see its shadow. You can literally see the shadow of it in the background. My Oregon Trail thing fell off of it. Anyways, this episode, I will be talking about this duck. Look at this thing. Dude, look at this. This duck is crazy. Here, talk more direct. I think I've literally talked directly into the middle. This duck is crazy. How much this duck? Look at him. BPA free. Big glitter duck. The reason why I have this is because I've been buying a bunch of rubber ducks recently, and I have a bunch in storage too. And my girlfriend was like, "What if I got them?" We can only go larger from here, folks. If I don't get a duck bigger than this, I'm gonna be pissed. I need a duck larger than this in the future. The bar has been set to giant duck that barely fits in my hand. I need one larger than this in the future. This is a message to anyone I know watching this. You're gonna get me a rubber duck. It has to be this. There is no there's no compromise, no exception here. You've got to get one like this. Now, let me address the other large-sized rubber duck in the room. I got a haircut. I got a haircut literally an hour ago. How does it look? Do you like it? Nice and fluffy and short. And I treated myself a little bit. I got it shampooed, got it conditioned, cut it up. God, I hope this sounds good. I'm really worried about it. I've listened to it a little bit, but I am still pretty worried about it. Yeah, another thing I didn't talk about in the last episode is that for the first time, I have gotten on my own, like my girlfriend's gotten a ton of this, but for the first time on my own, I have gotten my own little Jesus figure. Look at this little guy. He was on the top of a gas pump. The thing that makes him a little different is that he has a halo on his head. Which I have not seen any like this yet. I've seen many variations of this, but I haven't seen any with the little halo on his head. So that's pretty nice. He sits right on my desk. But yeah, so that's kind of my little update. I guess I'll just get right into the meat of it, because I thought this was pretty funny, and I had to add it to the doc. I was sent it today. There's something about this video that's just so... There's something so weird about this video, but it's so funny. I must talk about it. Just got the mother of all text. That's insane. All right, let's watch this.
Mr. President, what are you doing up there? Taking a little walk.
You can't even see it. Fuck. Look at this. Look at this frame. Mr. President, what are you doing up there? Take a little walk. What is that? That's my favorite part. Is what is this? What is he doing? What is that supposed to mean? Is he adding like something here, like a dome? What's he doing?
What does that mean? What do you? More ways to spend my money. Can you give us another hint?
Why does he seem like he's ready to die? Why does he seem like he's literally ready to die? More ways to spend my money. It's so bizarre.
We'll show you. It's just another way to spend my money for the country. Are you considering your second story? Anything I do is financed by me.
If he adds a second story to the White House, I'm gonna lose my mind. And we're gonna build it the way they built the rest of the White House. With slaves. So I just love how goofy the video would have been. So much fun if he wasn't so evil. You know what I mean? If he wasn't so evil, it'd be a much funnier type of video. But yeah, I feel like he might add a second story. Like, legitimately, I feel like he will actually try to add a second story. Which is so tacky. It's so tacky. I've got to show this video. Earlier this year, I showed the Democratic response to Trump's like faux State of the Union type of speech, and the speech was hosted by the response was hosted by Alyssa Slotkin. She's a Michigan state senator, and I think I spent the whole next episode going through her Wikipedia and like going through all of her different sources of her life and learning like her voting record and stuff. Because she's one of those like moderate Democrats. She's a Zionist, like a huge champion of Israel. She used to serve in the House, all that stuff. Her big claim to fame is that she was in the CIA, which you're not formerly CIA, you're always CIA. And I found out that when she was running in 2018, when you're running for office, usually something called a tracker will follow you and try to like kind of recruit you to their movement. Like they'll follow you and try to, you know, be like, join our caucus for this issue, or what do you think about this? And they kind of track your campaign. And this dude was from some kind of Medicare caucus, some kind of Medicare for All caucus. He was a tracker, so he was following her campaign. And I just want you to watch this video and tell me how bizarre this video is. Let me cable manage a little bit here. Not look completely awful. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. But yeah, so watch this video.
Bye, guys.
Miss Larkin, will you join the Medicare for All
Thank you
caucus
again.
if you get elected?
Fran, thanks for your help.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Miss Larkin, will you join the Medicare for All caucus if you get elected?
How are Sloan and Leroy?
How do you know my dog's names?
How does she know his dog's names? Now, she is a former CIA analyst that served in Iraq 3 times. She yeah, she served in Iraq a few times and was a CIA analyst. So the fact that she knows his dog's names is a little alarming. He apparently said in an article, I don't want to. I have to open up the images because I don't want to spoil the conclusion because it's insane. So, Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin is poised to become the Democratic nominee for Michigan's open Senate seat and will likely face Republican Mike Rogers. One source passed along a tracker video from Slotkin's 2018 congressional race, where she unseated incumbent Republican Mike Bishop. For those unfamiliar, trackers are typically employed by rival political organizations and are tasked with following candidates around, documenting all of their public appearances. In this video, Slotkin is seen leaving a political forum in July 2018 as the tracker asks her whether she plans to join the Medicare for All caucus. This is from The Spectator, by the way. When Slotkin finally gets to her car, she looks pointedly into the camera and says, "How are Sloan and Leroy?" End quote. Quote, "How do you know my dog's names?" End quote. Tracker asks in shock as Slotkin closes her car door. People who spoke with the tracker after the incident say he was shaken up and thought Slotkin intended to threaten him. The tracker did not have social media at the time and could not figure out how Slotkin learned his dog's names. He speculated that a girl he had recently met on Tinder was working for her campaign, or that Slotkin's team had pulled documents from the local Humane Society, who adopted the dogs out to the tracker. Now, I left out a key detail in this screenshot, and I'll get to it in a minute. But the fact that, one, he would have just so happened to meet a girl on Tinder that's working for her campaign, slightly unlikely. The fact that he thinks that Slotkin's team pulled documents from the local Humane Society, why would they know to look there? I would say it's more likely that they have information on him. Like, she's a former CIA analyst. Of course she's going to have information about him. The part that gets me, and you might think, like, this is some innocuous thing, whatever, like, he's just being paranoid. She clearly has connections in the city. Whatever. Maybe she knows someone that knows him. He's been tracking her for a while, and she knew to look. The article brushes over this very briefly, but when I said the tracker did not have social media at the time, there's a big chunk in between the word tracker and did that I didn't read. So let me reread this part. People who spoke with the tracker after the incident say he was shaken up and thought Slotkin intended to threaten him. The tracker, who passed away not long after this incident, did not have social media. He died 3 years after this video. Just mysteriously died. He just died. And the fact that it's just so brushed over. Like, it does seem a little suspicious. A former CIA person, like, who just so happens to be the target of this guy. And then the guy that's like tracking her just dies suddenly. It's a little weird. You can look into it any way you want, but it is a little weird. Yeah. The other big news from this week is that the other big news from this week is that the Texas Democrats fled the state. Right now, Greg Abbott is the governor of Texas, is trying to gerrymander. He's trying to basically gerrymander the state of Texas, which would eliminate Jasmine Crockett's seat. I think her name is Jasmine Crockett. She's the very outspoken representative who said Marjorie Taylor Greene had a bad-built butch body. Or a bad-built blonde butch body, I think is what she said. Pretty iconic. She has some other moments that are not great. Some other moments that are pretty fire, and I like the butch body one. But yeah, she's a very outspoken representative from Texas. And this gerrymandering effort would unseat her. And so the Texas Democrats left the state to hold up the legislature from ever passing the gerrymandering map. Like, from even pushing it through legally. And now Greg Abbott is trying to arrest them for, like, disrupting the state legislature or some shit. So now Gavin Newsom is threatening to gerrymander California, which won't happen. He's spineless. He's a bitch. But he's now trying to gerrymander California in response, which would yield double the amount of seats that the Texas Republicans are trying to take in the House. So, and they're just openly admitting, Texas Republicans, they're openly admitting it, that their goal is to gerrymander the state to increase Republican numbers in the House. So, I don't know how you get away with just openly admitting that, but I guess the Supreme Court will just allow that to happen. I mean, the Supreme Court has shown that they will just straight up allow it to happen. But yeah, pretty alarming. I don't know. In another note, I'm watching Dexter Resurrection, and it's going pretty well. I like it so far. Had some pretty satisfying episodes, some pretty funny moments, some nice solutions to problems Dexter has, and there's a lot of theories right now about what's going on in the current season. I will review it more when the season's over. I will review the whole thing, but I don't want to review it halfway through the season. It could be like New Blood, where the finale rushes things and wraps it up a little too quick. So I don't want to be like glazing the show and then the finale sucks. But Dexter finales have been known to be like kind of mid. Like the season 3 finale of the original Dexter show was not great. The season 1 finale is good. Season 2 finale is pretty good. 4's finale is really, really good. I feel like the rest of the finales are like alright. I like season 6's finale. I think that's the finale where Deborah finds out that Dexter's the Bay Harbor Butcher. Season 7's finale is I don't even remember that one. Mama mid. I don't know. I don't remember it. That's the worst part. Season 8's finale is like, the series finale, I should say, is like, okay. Like, Deb didn't have to be sailed off into the ocean. Like, come on. I don't know. New Blood's finale isn't awful. It just feels rushed. But yeah, I like Original Sin's finale. So I hope Resurrection follows in the footsteps of Original Sin with a satisfying Dexter-style finale. One show that I did finish is season 8 of Rick and Morty. I'm a bit of a Rick and Morty enjoyer. Not the Redditor, I'm going to stand on the McDonald's counter and yell about Szechuan sauce enjoyer, but I just like watching the show. The only thing I ever did that was even remotely beyond enjoying the show was that I did a pretty decent Meeseeks impression, and in turn a pretty decent Morty impression, but I can't do it anymore because I'm older and my voice is deeper. So that's gone. See, I'm just a Rick and Morty enjoyer now. But when I have a lawyer Morty pop figure, that's about it. But season 8, I liked it. I enjoyed it. Is it on HBO yet? I've been watching it through like cable and stuff like that. I type in all pops up. Nope, it's just season 7. Yeah. Season 8 was pretty good. I liked the controversial opinion. I liked the Beth episodes. I liked that we got to see more Beth and I liked the Beth episodes. I liked the Jerry episode with them on the path and everything. I kind of forgot what each episode was. I liked the James Gunn one because I liked the part where Morty is like, "Listen, you stupid fucking old man. We have a plan to stick to." Like, it's just a cool moment. And then I liked the heist one. That one was cool. I felt kind of bad for Rick. The first episode, what was that one? What was the first episode? I don't remember. Gotta pull it up. Oh, the Charger one. I mean, that one's fine. I liked the part where Morty was like bulldozing through the power plant and stuff, but I couldn't care less about the summer subplot. It feels like shit we've seen before. The summer subplot. I feel like the Morty subplot was way more all the flashbacks and everything. But I liked the episode nonetheless. I liked the Beth assassination episode. That one was funny. I don't remember what some of these were. What was this one? Oh, the ruins of the Citadel. This one was fine. I do like that Rick like goes on a rampage in this episode, but it's okay. I'm not really like big into the Citadel episodes where the main Rick and Morty are not involved at all. The Easter Bunny one was like funny, like it reminded me of the dumb, like stupid throwaway episodes from the earlier seasons. But like I like the lore too, and it's just okay. And I like the design of the Christ tree. The 5th episode, what is that one? Oh, that's the heist one. I like that. This one is, I assume, one where Beth Child. Yeah, I like the Beth Child one's cool. I like all the parts with Beth. The part with Morty and the girl are funny. I liked when Rick like just kind of showed up and blew up the treehouse. That was kind of funny. And I like the part where they make Rick old. Good lore moment. Especially because they remember their father, C-131, and Rick is not C-131, he's C-137. And you actually see a lot of C-131 this season. We haven't seen him since he died in episode 6 of the first season. And so it's nice to see, like, the part where they remember Rick being young, and that is technically a memory of C-131. And the memory Rick inside Beth's brain of Rick C-131 leaving, and he's dressed like Prime Rick, but he's not exactly dressed like Prime Rick. He's just kind of imitating his style and has a slightly different hairstyle than Prime. And I like that detail. I like the little lore that we got sprinkled throughout. Episode 7. Oh, that's the movie one. I liked that one. Episode 8 is which one? The Path. Episode 9 is... You know what? Actually, I like that. I was okay with this one. The continuation of episode 7 from season 1. This is a sequel in season 8, where it's Morty Jr.'s subplot. This one was fine. You know, I enjoyed the Rick subplot more than I enjoyed the Morty subplot. I guess I don't even subplots. I enjoyed the Rick plot more than I enjoyed the Morty. And I really liked episode 10. I liked the Memory Rick stuff. I genuinely thought they killed off Space Beth for a second. When she snapped Space Beth's neck, it was so visceral, and they let you sit on it for so long, I was like, oh. Like, she's probably dead. And then Rick revived her, which I was fine with. I liked that they let me think that Beth was dead for like a solid couple minutes there in the episode. Yeah, overall I liked this season. I liked it. It had a lot more hitters than season 7 did. I think if season 7 didn't have Rise of the Numericons, it would have been a better season. I just feel like and the Quado episode. I think if they had left those 2 episodes out, it would have been a pretty goated season. Like the first episode of season 7, reintroducing Mr. Poopy Butthole and having him like kind of flex his vocal range, the voice actor, because it's a different voice actor. That, you know, this character was voiced by Justin Roiland, so it's basically like we're gonna flex this guy doing a really good Mr. Poopy Butthole rendition. And then like I liked the Jarek trap. Air Force Wong was a funny one because I always like the President episodes, which they're making a President spinoff, which will be interesting. I think the season 3 finale shows that a President spinoff could be somewhat cool. That's Amorte is a really good episode. I really liked that one. The spaghetti episode. That one's such a good episode, dude. Especially the end. The end makes me so emotional. And I love the song. The one where they fight Rick Prime, I really like that. Rick Fending Your Mort, the one where they do like a clip show, I'm not a big fan of that one. The Quado one, the Numericons one, I don't like those. The one where they're trying to get to like Nordic, you know, heaven basically. Valhalla. I like that episode a lot, actually. That one reminds me of the older seasons. And then I really like the Fear Hole one. That one threw me for a loop, dude. I was like shocked that they kept doing the you're still in the hole thing. So I liked that season. It's just there's some duds. There's about 2 or 3 duds. I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. I'm about to go eat dinner, so I guess I could ponder it. If I have a different mic when I come back, it's because I didn't like how this one sounded. So get ready for that. And yeah, I'll see y'all in a second after this break. Hope you're enjoying the episode. If you want to support us, you can go over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. You can subscribe for $10 a month to get bonus content. Or you can subscribe for $1 or $3 a month if you just want to support us. There's also higher tiers if you want to support us even more, even harder. But you don't have to. So head on over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. And for $10 a month, you can get the bonus episodes and even bonus content like the outtakes for this little segment. So thanks for supporting us and thanks for listening. Welcome back. I had a delicious taco bake. It was chicken, rice, beans. We put some cheese on there. We put the Taco Bell taco seasoning on there. I had some taco shells from the Taco Bell taco kit. I didn't use the sauce. But we made a taco bake, which is pretty cool. It looks like if I don't talk, it doesn't pick up my voice. This mic does something really weird. The way that the gain works on this mic is really confusing me, but it sounded fine. It's just a little quiet, so anyways, when I started this podcast, I thought it wasn't going to work with me by myself. And I will say it's been doing pretty fine. I haven't had a guest on in like almost a whole year, if not a whole year at this point. I think it's doing all right. I know it has been a little less than a year. I had a Halloween guest on. Forgot. But yeah, let me address the elephant in the room. Israel. I haven't talked about Israel in a while because it's been the same old news and it's just been horrific, making me really depressed. Israel's genocide in Gaza has continued, going on 2 years, and recently they have, about a couple months ago, longer than that, but it really ramped up and started getting attention a couple months ago. They were starving the people in Gaza. Starving them basically to death. Starving children, starving adults, and they were using something called the GHF, which is a Israeli-ran humanitarian aid organization. And it was basically used as like, oh look, these hungry Palestinians are going to flock to this aid site, so we can get them all in a concentrated area and just yell Hamas, Hamas, and then just start firing into the crowd. That is the whole point of the GHF, the Gaza Humanitarian Fund, or whatever it's called. And so, the entire planet started to be like, okay, hold on a minute. You can't just start starving people and think we wouldn't notice. At least do it a little more secretively. So they've started allowing some aid in. Like Canada and France have been airdropping aid into the Gaza Strip. And whatnot. But like, the fact that it took the mass starving of an entire civilian population for some liberals to wake up and realize, oh, maybe we shouldn't be supporting the state of Israel. And, I lost a lot of what I was going to say, actually, because it's just that bad. I've seen Zionists try to claim that, this one boy that some aid foundation cherry picked out, he's got like some kind of illness that makes him look emaciated. Like, okay, well, what about all the other ones? All the other children? I saw one that was like, how come it's just pictures of children emaciated? You know, in the Holocaust, you saw adults that looked that way. How come we haven't seen any photos of adults looking that way? And it's like, yeah, you are right. There are photos of adults during the Holocaust also looking emaciated. However, there are also pictures of adults in Gaza that look that way too. So I just think it's really gross. I think it's really disgusting that Zionists will like take what's going on right now and try to explain it away. I've seen some people just go the full murderous route and try to say that also to invoke the Holocaust, to say that, oh well, Israel's not doing like the Holocaust at least over there, so it's okay. It's like, no, they are doing the Holocaust. They're getting there. I've seen some people just go full send and say that if they don't want to starve to death, then why doesn't Hamas just release the hostages? It's like, what are you saying? Since when is collective punishment okay? Like, you can't just start starving an entire population of people and then go, well, oh well, this one militant group, this armed resistance group won't return our hostages, so starve them all 2 million. If there's even that many people left in the Gaza Strip. I mean, we don't know how many people Israel has killed, like officially. The last time an official count was done was over a year ago, and it was at 60,000. The number could be like in the 200,000s at this point, if not higher. So yeah, I've seen some real dog ass, shitty ass takes on all of this. I think I'm sick of liberals. I was reminded today, I watched this Big Joel video about Bill Maher. I was reminded today of just how much I hate liberals. The liberals that were like agreeing with Kamala's whole I am speaking now in response to the uncommitted movement. The way liberals are like actually it's okay that Israel's doing this because Hamas has hostages. People like Bill Maher. I saw Bill Maher use the justification that well, you know, civilizations in the past have conquered land, and the people from those conquered lands have just learned to adapt and survive. Like, are you serious right now, my brother? Are you serious right now? So because it's happened in the past, it's okay. You realize you could make that argument about everything? If I had the chance to stop the Holocaust, I would have done it. You can make that same exact argument for the genocide in Gaza by saying, well, the Holocaust happened, so it's okay that we do this to the Palestinians as well. You can literally make that same argument if you're a monster. His logic there doesn't hold up, because you can make that argument about everything. Oh, the president's acting corrupt? Well, presidents have been corrupt before, so it's whatever. Oh, the US is gonna like try to do regime change in Iran? Well, that's okay, they've done it before. Who cares? Iran will get used to it and do whatever they want in a few years anyways. It's such a dumb justification. It's such an evil justification for the occupation of Gaza. So now, in response to the world being like, maybe you should stop starving babies to death, Israel has now decided, Benjamin Netanyahu seems to concur with this, they've decided to do a full military occupation of Gaza in the same way that they occupy and segregate the West Bank. They are essentially going to absorb Gaza into Israel as an apartheid, segregated, spliced up piece of land where the Israelis will slowly clear out Palestinians, kill them, basically, or round them up and imprison them. Capture the land as their own, and then do what they've done in the West Bank. Oh, you can live in these little parts while we take the rest. And then in a few years' time, settlers from like America or from Israel proper will just come in and take your home. And there's nothing you can do about it because we'll side with the Israeli or side with the settler every single time. They're basically going to illegally occupy Gaza even further. Not just keep watch over it as the biggest open-air prison. It will now become segregated, apartheid, illegally occupied land like the West Bank is. In reality, all of it is illegally occupied, but that's a whole separate conversation. I'm a one-stater, and my opinion has evolved over time. I used to think that it would be possible to maintain, like, oh, you can call it like Israel-Palestine or something like that. I used to think it was possible to maintain like some kind of civility in Israel, and that's because I was naive. I didn't realize like just how evil Israel is and just how deep in it the people there are, how indoctrinated they are. I used to think like Palestinians can have the right to return, they'll get reparations, they can live amongst the people already living there, they'll get equal civil rights in my ideal world. I don't even think that's possible anymore. I think it just all needs to be Palestine. Like, the people already living there can stay, but I don't think it can exist in its current state. It definitely can't be an ethno-state anymore. Ethno-states are wrong and disgusting on every level. But I feel like if you give Palestinians the right to return, one, Israelis will have a nasty-ass reaction to that. But two, you're going to have to call it Palestine at that point. I'm no longer... I don't give a fuck about the Israel stuff anymore. Get rid of the name Israel. It's an ugly-ass flag with a cool color scheme. I wish they didn't use that color scheme. I love that color scheme. It sucks that they use it. I hate that they use it. Get rid of the flag. Change it back to the old flag. Or to the Palestinian flag, I mean. Change it back to that. And call it Palestine. Everyone lives amongst each other. Let's say I was president, right? I'm an anti-imperialist. But I would, if I inherited an imperial United States that was still the head of imperial power in the world, if there was American hegemony, still, I would immediately use my military imperial powers to occupy Israel. I would reconstruction that motherfucker. I would do what we did after the Civil War, except do it right. I would put them in reconstruction mode. We would move Palestinians into the mainland, let them reclaim their land, give them reparations, rip up the Israeli government's rules, because I don't think they have a constitution. I think it's just a series of laws that makes up their constitution. Undo their entire government. Install a new one. Make it a democracy. So fuck you, Benjamin Netanyahu. It'd still be a democracy in my ideal world. Make it a democracy and then enforce Reconstruction style policies. Oh, you want to commit a hate crime against a Palestinian? Prison for the rest of your life. That, or we ship you out. We pick a country and we deport you for doing that. Yeah, I'm playing the Trump playbook too. You know, except I'm not deporting innocent, poor Hispanics who are just living here trying to make ends meet and raise their family. That's the difference, is that I'm taking some entitled, racist Israeli, arresting them, and then picking a country and sending them there and telling them they can't come back. So they can either get deported or they have a choice. Get deported or work in a prison camp. We gotta have workers. No, I probably wouldn't have prisoners do unpaid labor. I am very against slavery. I guess I could just pay them a livable wage while they're in prison and still have them do prison work. Could do that. Make them a firefighter. Commit a racist crime against a Palestinian. Put you in prison. Put you in a re-education class. Learn the history of your dog-ass country. And then make you a firefighter or something that works for the prison. You earn firefighter wages. You refuse to help a Palestinian in a fire, then we stick you back in the prison. You just get to stay there for the rest of your life. The work allowed for you. I think I'm cooking. I think I'm really cooking here. You're wondering why I say do Reconstruction the way it was supposed to be done. Famously, after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, Andrew Johnson became the new president. Now, why is that significant? Here's a little history lesson for you guys. At the time, Lincoln was a Republican, which happened to be the liberal/left-leaning political party in the United States. And he chose for his second term to run under some kind of unity-style party. So he ran as a Republican, and his vice presidential pick was a Democrat. I believe from Tennessee. I could be wrong about that. But I believe he was a Southern Democrat. And so he's the vice president with some sympathies to the South, which makes him dangerous. Originally, I believe Andrew Johnson was supposed to be assassinated too, and they were never able. Everybody chickened out except for the guy who killed Abraham Lincoln. So, you know, and yes, I do know his name, John Wilkes Booth. I'm not stupid. Good Lord. I just wanted to say that guy. All of the other people involved in the conspiracy chickened out. And so Andrew Johnson becomes the president, right? In a little while, he's like a hot-headed president. Congress passes a law for him to intentionally violate it. He becomes the first president to be impeached, but they can't remove him from office. He's saved, removed. And he strikes a deal with the southern states. Or he doesn't strike. Sorry, this comes way later. He relaxes Reconstruction in the South to a great extent, and he influences politics in the North to the point where an election occurs, and the voting results are a little choppy, and the Republicans work out a deal with the Democrats that they will withdraw troops from the South and end Reconstruction if they allow the Republican to be president. And that is exactly what happened. If you want my opinion, Reconstruction should have involved... I don't know if I can actually say what I think Reconstruction should have involved. But I guess these people existed 200 years ago. I think the U.S. government in the 1860s and 70s and 80s and 90s during Reconstruction should have imprisoned or rounded up and, like, you know what, to all the slave owners. I think that would have prevented a long timeline of pain. I also think Woodrow Wilson, sorry, I'm just going down the timeline of all the racial, like, hate crimes that each administration's committed. You can blame Teddy Roosevelt for the revival of the Ku Klux Klan because he ran as a third party and split the vote. And so Woodrow Wilson won the presidency. And what did Woodrow Wilson do in his classic little racist Klansman fashion? Showed the first movie ever in the White House, which the movie happened to be a movie about a second like wave of the Ku Klux Klan. And that's the one that introduced cross burnings and all the iconic, like, infamous racial imagery you see from the modern day Klan. And that act alone revived the entire Klan. You can blame Wilson and you can blame Roosevelt for that. But I'm getting way off topic. That's your little history lesson. that the American government pulled back Reconstruction efforts in order for a selfish political party to win the election. And Andrew Johnson was so sympathetic to the South's plight that it didn't really do much of a military enforcement during the first initial stages of Reconstruction. So, there you go. Lincoln's assassination was actually very consequential. Why was I talking about this again? Oh, I was talking about Israel. Damn. Yeah, I would probably do a military occupation of Israel and then bring in all the Palestinians and combine Gaza and the West Bank into what I would then call Palestine. Give Syria the Golan Heights back. Completely surrender any other up for debate land to their countries of origin. Give Palestinians equal rights and reparations, and then I would start heavily enforcing deconstruction efforts, like undoctrinating the Israeli people. So you have to admit, a lot of Israelis are indoctrinated into thinking that if the Arab population went over 51%, there'd be a huge uprising. Great replacement theory, but for Israel. A lot of them have been brainwashed into that. A lot of them are forced to serve in the IDF, so they automatically, in a lot of cases, already believe in what the IDF stands for, what the Israeli government is doing in the bank. Oh, and I would probably no, actually, I wouldn't do that. I was gonna say I'd surrender all of Israel's nukes, but then somebody could just come in and occupy Palestine. So, Palestine, keep your nukes. Hold on to those nukes. If a country accuses you of having nukes, find the nukes. You already have them. Hold on. Anyway, continue practicing BDS. I have not had McDonald's in a long time. Domino's included. Burger King. Coke is on there. Coke's the hardest one, I think, but it's somewhat doable. I think they care more about the other companies being boycotted than necessarily. So just focus on what you can. Remember, it's easy. It's easy to not consume these products. Don't use Wix.com. Because that's a Israeli owned website builder. Wait, what? Breaking news. Active shooter incident with casualties reported at Fort Stewart in Georgia. Whoa. Trump may personally prevent Jeannie Perot was confirmed. Oh, announces a Senate run. What? Oh, that's the name of the photo. Jesus, dude. What's the headline? Jeannie Perot is confirmed by the Senate in a 50-45 vote. Where are the other 5? Okay. Trump may personally intervene to stop Mamdani from becoming mayor. Trump is considering... Dude. Trump is considering getting involved. Alright. Spoke to Andrew Cuomo. Mr. Trump is said to have briefed by... Okay. Okay. He's just gonna back Cuomo. I feel like that's the worst thing for Trump to do. No, actually, no. Do it, Trump. Do it. Back Cuomo. Eric Adams released a post recently of a poll where I guess they polled Jewish Americans living in New York, and he said that he was like, the Jews agree that I would be the best candidate for them in this race, and it showed him at 23%, Cuomo at 21%, and Curtis at 17%. And notably, there was a name missing off that list, and it was Mamdani sitting at 37%. 37%. Isn't that crazy? 37% Jewish support in New York City. And he left them off the poll when he posted it. That's actual anti-Semitism. To just completely wipe out 37% of Jewish voters like that because you don't agree with them. Because they don't fit into your narrative that Mamdani is this super anti-Semitic, Islamic figure that you want him to be. It looks like there's a that was.
We have breaking news right now. Fort Stewart in Georgia is on lockdown because of an active shooter. Army officials say there are casualties and the incident is ongoing. They say one of the sections of the base was locked down around 11 a.m. and that law enforcement is on the scene. The FBI is also now offering support. Not a lot of details here yet, but of course we are monitoring this situation. What we do know right now is what the Army is telling us, an active shooter. So it sounds like right now this is still ongoing. And again, they are confirming there are victims here. ABC News senior Pentagon reporter Louis Martinez has more on this.
Whoa. Was the shooter another member of the military?
There's also this breaking news.
All right, I don't need Laura Ingraham. Come on. What a fucking idiot. That's just suicidal at that point. You're going to a military base to commit a mass shooting. I feel like you're just suicidal at that rate. Okay, that's it for this episode. It's fun. No, it wasn't. But I'm glad I used a different mic this time. Kind of used to this. Comment down below that you like my hair. And let me know what you think about the new. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Support us on patreon.com/forbiddenpod. Yeah, thanks for listening. Tuning in. On a fun trip this weekend, so I will talk about it when I get back. Adios, y'all. Peace.